Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Podcast. I want you to be rich. Yes, I want abundant financial success for your business. But I don't just care about your business making money. I care about you too. I want you to be rich in happiness, in the impact you make, in your relationships, and in how you give back. I'm Anna. I built my six-figure business as a side hustle while I was pregnant with my daughter in 2016. Now I've helped dozens of women do the same. I'm here to help you build a profitable, heart-centered, fully booked business with the latest tips on sales and visibility, with proven mindset hacks, and sneak peeks behind the scenes with what's working right now in the online space and in my business. Ready to make more money with heart? Let's go. The other day, one of my kids asked me, Mom, can you go on this upcoming field trip with me with my class? And I looked at my schedule and I was like, yeah, actually that works great for me. You guys know I work about 3 weeks out of the month. And so it was actually landed on my off week. So I was like, that's perfect. I don't even have to rearrange anything. I'm happy to be there, right? And the child said to me, I'm bummed you didn't get to make the last field trip. And instantly, I felt guilty because I try to make most field trips, most activities, but even end of school year, both my kids have a field trip on the same day. So obviously I can only make one of those. And there's also lunch on the lawn where there's so many activities. I messaged one of my girlfriends about it that also has kids at the same school. And she has a traditional day job, but was saying she was feeling guilty because she couldn't make the field trip. And it really got me thinking that yes, as women that have small businesses, we do have more flexibility. But sometimes I feel like we put this extraordinary pressure on ourselves to pretend like we don't work or don't have a business. Let me tell you what I mean, right? I think I realized when I was talking to that person, my kids, they want me to be with them as much as possible, which is wonderful, right? But whether I have a traditional day job or a business, it's still okay for me to have some boundaries, right? Maybe you don't have kids, but maybe you have an aging parent. Maybe you have a friend, right? Maybe your partner, right, is asking you for these favors because you have a flexible business, which is beautiful. And I do believe in flexing things when we want to. But I think sometimes we take it to an extreme and we bend our boundaries so much that we get resentful, so much that our business suffers. And at the end of the day, yes, I have a business that's super part-time, super profitable. It's a great job, but it's still a job and it's still something that makes me money and I still respect it as if it is a job, right? And so that's why when my dentist asks me, okay, when can I schedule your next appointment? I say, schedule me on a Friday. Sure, I could make a Tuesday work, but I don't need to because that's my business and I want to protect my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 to 3 or whatever it is, right? And I think it's forgetting that it's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to say no. I know this is a different conversation, but it reminds me of when I was working a traditional day job and sometimes I would say no to a certain commitment because I had kids and one of my friends one of my coworkers didn't have kids and she felt bad saying no. And I told her just because you don't have a kid doesn't mean you can't say no. You can still say no. That's after work hours. I can't make it. You don't have to have an excuse or reason. And I think we do this in our business. Sure, we could make it work, but we don't have to, right? If your grandma asks you, hey, can you walk my dog Tuesday at noon? You can be like, oh, I can't do that. But what I can do is Tuesday night, I can come over or whatever. And this is just remembering it's so safe to negotiate things. I remember one of the first negotiations I made was someone asked me to speak at a retreat they were doing. And I was breastfeeding at the time and obviously was super attached to my baby in a practical way. And I was really nervous too, but I ended up asking her you know what, I can't stay the whole weekend, but can I just come for one day? And she ended up saying yes, right? And so I think it's forgetting that we can negotiate, we can have needs. Just because we can doesn't mean we have to. And I find that we create a business because we want flexibility for our life, but when it becomes our full-time thing, it's important to remember the more protected and structured our work hours are, the more easy it'll be able to have things get done and not bleed into the other areas of our lives, right? You've heard me talk about this before, but I really feel like multitasking is the demise of so many small business owners, right? For me, knowing that I can, like, it looks like I am on social media all the time, right? It looks like blah, blah, all these things, but it's just because I am able to have really focused energy and be efficient in my short work hours. And I find that the shorter our work hours are, the more, like, you're smart, like you can get things done on a deadline, right? And so I find that having those boundaries of saying, oh, from 9 to 10, I'm going to batch these social media posts. I'm not going to answer the door for the mailman, right? They can leave my mail in the mailbox or whatever. I'm not going to, I need to order these things on Amazon, but I'm going to do that later, right? Really having that honored work time, I think, is so key to having honored non-work time. And then when you hang up your computer or whatever it is at the end of the day, you can really relax and unplug because you were super efficient for those 3 hours, right? You really showed up. And then you can unplug for the rest of your life. And I think sometimes we want to add more flex to it. And I'm a big fan too of deciding our work hours for a chapter, for 6 weeks, for a month, right? And honoring those. But I just wanted to say, I wanted to tell you that story because I think the story I share with you guys a lot is I show up for my kids and I'm a present mom and I go to field trips, and which is true. It is true. But I still honor my work hours. I still honor my commitments, right? I still tell my kids, yes, we can go do that, but after mom works for 30 minutes, right? Or I would love to do that with you after I finish this work call. They know that I work. And I remember this is kind of like an identity crisis I had when I started my business because I had always kind of categorized myself as a stay-at-home mom. Even though I had a traditional day job, I had a lot of flexibility and, I've just always been very present, probably at the expense of my own health, but that's just so important to me, my kids. But it really was having a business and having to hire a nanny for more hours and really realizing no, I am a working mom and that's okay. That's okay. What do I believe about being a woman and being a working mom? And again, it's just a lot of conditioning, I think, from maybe society and everything like that. But it really took a lot to say, we don't have to pretend we don't have a business. And then, multi-six figures just showed up somewhere, right? I think sometimes our partner or our friends treat our business like a hobby because we reflect it that way instead of saying no, this is something that I respect. No, these are I find that the people that we love reflect our own energy. So it's okay for you to say to your hubby, yes, I would love to do lunch, but I'm going to zone in and do these 3 hours right now. I'm going to shut my work door and get to work, right? I find that people that love us respond really well to those boundaries, right? It's okay for you to say no. For me, how I like to affirm it for myself is I have a super profitable, super part-time business, right? I make multi-six figures on a 3-day work week, and I'm super grateful for that. And that's my job. It is that's my work. It is a business. And so it's okay for my business to require some things of me, for me to show up, for me to be consistent, for me to put time in, for me to clock in my 18 to 20 hours or whatever it is. Sometimes more than that, sometimes a Saturday morning if something else happened on a Tuesday or whatever, right? And I just think, again, I think we feel like we have to pretend like we don't have a business, that our business doesn't have needs. And I think that's a disservice to everyone, right? Yes, it's true that I am more available to my kids than a mom that has a regular job, right? Honestly, I feel like I am more emotionally available to my kids now than I was in eras when I have been more of a quote stay-at-home mom, right? Because for me, my business gives me a lot of money, gives me a lot of happiness, and I'm really stable in the times that I do show up for my kids. But I still am a working mom and I have a job, and it's okay I don't have to pretend that I don't. To my family, to my friends. It's okay to, one of my clients before said oh, this feels like play money. Because we do what we love and it's so easy and so aligned, it can feel too good to be true. So I think we feel the sacrifice I have to make is being flexible for other people, right? I feel guilty for how easy this money is to make, for how aligned my work is. So I owe to the people that have traditional day jobs being the one that's flexible, being the one that picks up the slack. Maybe if you want to, but also you don't have to. Just because you're one with a flexible schedule doesn't mean you have to do that, right? Again, for me, what works best in my business is having that structure, having those work hours, knowing that Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 3, I'm not scheduling other things. right? Of course, there are the things that we can decide, ooh, that's worth rescheduling for. But for me, that's the exception, not the rule. Like every once in a while, I will move things around for a field trip or something like that. But in general, I say no. In general, I say those are my sacred work hours. So 2 takeaways. Number 1, can you get clear for the next month on what your work hours are? And can you lovingly say, okay, 9 to 1, I'm not doing my, like literally, I will write down because for me, like I love to dance bachata, right? So I can get lost like watching bachata video. Like these aren't bad things. It's just not what I need to be doing during my work time, right? So I'll literally list down on a sticky note, like these are the things I will not be doing for the next 4 hours. I think people see me as someone with like really strong discipline and motivation. I'm not. I just put a lot of like guardrails on myself. I just use timers. I have a coach that keeps me accountable, right? It's okay for you to do that. But picking your work hours, again, they may shift in different chapters of your life, and really honoring and maybe even writing down, okay, this is what I will do during my work hours. And same thing, I find that the stricter I am with my work hours, the freer I am in my non-working hours, right? I got shiz done. I'm not feeling guilty like, oh, I should have done that or that, right? I'm like, I did my work for today. So I am going to delete social media off my phone. I'm not going to think about work. I'm not going to think about clients. I'm just going to live the rest of my day, right? This is a great affirmation for you. The more structured I am in my work hours, the more disciplined, the more boundaried I am, the more I protect those work hours, the more free I will feel in my life, the more relaxed that I feel. The more I'll feel like, yeah, I don't have to be checking my email. I don't have to be worrying about that problem. It's safe to put it to rest. It's safe to have a few structured work hours and to honor those and to ask that other people honor those too, and to be okay with disappointing people, to be okay with saying no, and realize it's safe to treat your business like a business, a really profitable, really part-time business, but it's still a job. And for me, again, that was like a lot of identity work around what does it mean to be a working woman and to make money and to like making money. I put a reel the other day that said like something I'm teaching my daughter that's really important to me is that one of the most feminine things you can do is make money, right? We've been taught that feminine energy is dependent, submissive, but I really believe that I can be the most relaxed and creative and rested as a female when in my source of making money, when I have that ability and knowledge to do that, right? And some of that is owning like, yeah, I'm a woman and I make money and I love it. I do it in a value-aligned way. I do it in a way that prioritizes for me, my family. That's super important to me. But I love to make money. I love to work. And to me, that is a huge money mindset thing. Really owning, I love money. I love making money. I love to work in aligned ways. And this is a job and this is my business. And I love that part of me. I'm going to own that part of me. I'm going to respect that part of me. I'm going to ask other people to respect it too. I also think we just need to get more uncomfortable with people being like lightly upset with us. Of course, if people are being disrespectful, cut them out. But I think sometimes like maybe you put a boundary and your hubby makes like a sad face and we're like, oh my God, I upset him. Like, no, he just is a little sad. And that's it. Like, allow him to be sad. He loves you, right? Same thing with our kids, right? Like we had to say no, we had to set a boundary, show up for their emotion, but don't feel like you have to pretzel your behavior around them, right? Being okay with other people's negative emotions and not having to fix it and just allowing it because they're not a robot was one of my biggest learning curves and one of my most joyful learning curves, in the sense of like, once you realize you're not responsible for making everyone happy on the surface, just so freeing. And this is part of that, right? No, I can't do that right now, but I can do that because I work. I'm a working woman. I make money. I am so excited. Well, number one, the mastermind is almost full. I'm recording this like 6 weeks out before the mastermind starts. So if you're interested in the next round of the mastermind, please reach out ASAP because this group fills early. My 6-month mastermind that helps you create 6 figures plus, multi-6 figures on a 3-day work week. Live coaching with me, highest level of support, about 12 to 14 women, and just an amazing revolutionary experience that's going to revolutionize the way you think about sales, making making money on super part-time hours. So make sure you reach out for a free 20-minute CEO assessment if you're all interested. That's how you can register for the program. It's also how you can join the wait list if you decide you want to join on the next round. But if you're interested, I highly recommend you put your hat in the game, because for me, when I open up wait lists too, I always go to the people that have had calls that I feel a resonance with, that I'm feeling like, ooh, I believe in them. I believe in their mission. For me, when I coach with someone, I really want to coach with women that I feel aligned with. And I know that you're looking for that too, as you're looking for your next coach. So remember that hopping on a free CEO session doesn't obligate you to anything. I'm never going to hard sell you or pressure you into anything. A lot of women are like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to join right now, so I don't want to waste your time. It doesn't waste my time. I'd love to get to know you so that when the time is right, you're on my list that I can invite to hop in. So feel free to sign up for a call. And plus, I just love to get to know you better. I love getting to know women that are passionate about making a lot of money with heart, with integrity, with service, while prioritizing family or what matters to you. So hop on a free call with me. I would love that. Wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the podcast. It means the most to me. If you've never rated and reviewed the podcast, I would love for you to do that. If you're enjoying the show, I read every single 5-star review, and it just makes my heart sing every time. It means so much to me. So do that today if you want to give me that little gift, and I would so appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out today. Please hit that subscribe button so you can make sure to stay updated anytime a new episode drops. And I would love for you to join me in my free Facebook community. It's called The Heart-Centered Entrepreneur. We discuss the podcast episodes. I regularly go live and do free trainings. And you may even meet your newest biz bestie. So you can join at heartcenteredcommunity.com. It's absolutely free, and I cannot wait to see you in there.